I'm Maureen Rogers from Laurel Mill Playhouse, and this is Curtain Call. And we are so happy to have cast and crew from our upcoming show, Crazy for You. It's a musical. It is an adventure. It really is. It's the costumes, the dancing, the singing. You do not want to miss this. So why don't you introduce yourselves and tell us what part you're doing for this show?
Sure. My name is Summer Moore. I am the choreographer for the show.
And I'm Alex Campbell. I'm directing the show.
It's nice to have you both, and thank you for taking the time to be with us.
Thank you.
So Alex has done several shows with us, directing at least 2 shows, blockbusters, Noise is Off, and The Play That Goes Wrong. Yeah. He did things on that stage that nobody has ever been able to do.
Or will ever want to again.
It's a lot of work. So Alex, tell me what inspired you to pick this play. I know you like the old-fashioned musicals, and I love that you do.
I do, and I love a love story. I love a story that is based on mistaken identity and confusion that sort of ends with a happy ending. I like those types of stories. This particular show is full of music by George and Ira Gershwin, which is, I mean, for anybody that was raised in the golden era, it's some of the most amazing music that's ever been written. And this show pulls it together. Somebody the other day said that this is a jukebox musical, but it's all Gershwin music. So I think it was a jukebox musical before that term even existed, right? And all of these songs are just so fantastic. You know, Nice Work If You Can Get It, I Got Rhythm, Slap That Bass, songs that have been done by Ella Fitzgerald and Michael Bublé and Harry Connick Jr. in the pop sector. Bringing them together in this show really just puts this story into an era that I think brings back hope and joy. And all those songs will be familiar to people, I think. Yeah. Because I've heard them in some way, some singer, you know, maybe an older singer, maybe a younger singer, but they've definitely been out there, because I was just kind of amazed how many I recognized. Yeah. Yeah. So what has been the most difficult thing to do with this show besides the space? Yeah, I mean, this show is generally performed by an ensemble of 10 to 20 that's not even the principal actors. That's just the ensemble. So the sort of the townspeople of the town in Nevada, and these showgirls that are part of this show that sort of transplant themselves from New York to Nevada, 20, right? We have 6. So I think some of the most difficult things that Summer and I have had to work together on are, how do we make a 20-person ensemble number feel that impressive, right, when we only have 6 people and a really small space like we have at Laurel Mill. And I have to say, I have to give Summer all the credit for this. She has done an amazing job putting together choreography that utilizes the space, but also utilizes these 6 incredibly talented singer and dancer actors that we have. That is awesome. So Summer, we talked about this earlier, but where did you get your inspiration for doing the choreography for this show? You know, especially since it was originally 20 and now we have 6, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely it has been an adventure, like you stated, an adventure putting on the show in that space. For me, typically, my primary objective is that choreography is fun, especially with a show like Crazy for You, because it's a very fun show. When we were auditioning actors, I told them, I was like, if you get cast in the show and you don't have fun at dance rehearsals, I'm going to go home and cry every night. And I was joking, but I definitely wanted the choreography to be something that brings out that joy that Alex talked about, that really makes the music and the story come to life. And specifically with shows like this, I like to think about choreography that makes sense not only for the actors, but for the characters. So when you have the cowboys from Nevada, they're dancing in I Got Rhythm, it's very cowboy-centric movements versus the showgirls that utilize jazz and ballet and lots of tap. So it really brings those two worlds of New York and Nevada together with choreography that is fun for the actors and also makes sense for the characters. And for me, I really like every song to contribute to the story of the show. So the dances tell a story as well as the scenes and the songs themselves.
Oh, that's great. And I love that you're trying to make it fun because we're all volunteers, you know. We want to have fun. You don't want to do this and not have fun.
Exactly.
And I think Laurel Mill Playhouse is pretty much known for that.
Absolutely.
We have to have fun.
I would also say one of the amazing things about Summer and why I begged her to come work on this show with me is this show is traditionally a very tap heavy show, and we knew together that we wanted there to be tap in the show, but that it didn't have to follow that traditional all tap all the time kind of a feel. And Summer brings this breadth of movement to her choreography that shows off so many different elements of different styles of dance, but then like can do that and still put a tap routine underneath it. So you're looking at their feet and you're seeing tap, but you're looking at, you know, their body movements and their arm movements, and you're seeing all these other elements come together that just make the dance look so special and different and new. And so that was really exciting for me.
It was a lot of research, lots of research. I love putting different styles, but I don't know a ton of different styles. And so I learn. And so I go to the internet and find inspiration from people who know those styles and get the basics and use those basics to create pieces. So we have some things that are maybe not exactly regionally specific, but we have elements of, for example, Appalachian flat footing, which is on the other side of the country from Nevada, but it's okay. And then we have elements of Charleston and, like I said, jazz and ballet, and we have even elements of African dance. There's all sorts of things.
Oh, that's great. I clog, so I know where you're coming from. So Alex said why he picked you. Why did you agree to do this?
Because I wanted to work with Alex, and because I love Gershwin music. Yes, Alex did ask me to work on the show with him, and I was hesitant because of the scope of the show and the space. But after talking with him about kind of what his vision was and how he wanted to really give me free rein to incorporate the choreography into the story, I felt really confident going into working on this project with him. And we've worked not directly together, but we've worked on shows together before, and I really wanted to work really side by side with him on this.
That's great. Congratulations, Alex.
Thank you.
So did this start as a movie and then it turned into, do you know the story behind that, how it got to be a musical?
It was not a movie. So the author of the libretto of the show is Ken Ludwig. Mm-hmm. He's done a ton of shows.
Oh, yeah.
And most of them are very comedic, Lend Me a Tenor, those kinds of things. They're very funny shows. He sort of took this idea of bringing together a bunch of different Gershwin songs. So, for example, songs like Nice Work If You Can Get It are from a musical, an original musical called Nice Work If You Can Get It. There are several songs in this show that are from a musical called Girl Crazy, which was a movie. And there are a few others that are sort of peppered in that have used these songs before. But Ken Ludwig pulled these together and said, I'm going to write this new and different story. And I'm going to base it on these Gershwin songs. And I'm putting words in his mouth at this point, but I think that hearing the little tap routine of Crazy for You is actually part of a larger song. And I think for him sort of hearing that one little piece and going, let me give you the lowdown. I'm crazy for you. Like, that's the lyric. And I think at that point he was like, I think I can write a story around that. So this story was a musical that was produced in the 90s and brought all these different songs from different shows together.
That's great. And Gershwin music. So it starts October the 11th and goes to the 27th of October. So it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday for 3 weekends.
That's right. And we have one special
Thursday
night show for all of our... We have so many friends, we do, and our cast have so many friends that are in shows in this region. Right now. And We basically said we need to have one Thursday show so they can come see us.
And that is the 17th?
And that is the 17th
so,
at 8 p.m.
Yeah, so Fridays, Saturdays, and Thursday is 8 p.m.
That's
Sundays are 2 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
You can go, and I'm going to say this a couple times, but you can go to laurelmillplayhouse.org and purchase your tickets on there. And I think this is going to be a sold-out show. So go ahead and get those tickets now. So I guess, how did you work in the costumes with the dancing? Was that difficult to make sure people could freely move and dance?
It did take some trial and error. Our costumer is actually my mother. She's a wonderful costumer, and I've loved working with her on this show as well.
That's great.
Yes, and she bears all of my millions of questions about costumes, which I greatly appreciate. But it did take some trial and error of figuring out what costumes made sense for the characters as they progress through the story, because just like with the choreography, the costumes tell a story of the characters too, of the characters who are transplants from New York as they're kind of being absorbed into what this slower life looks like in Nevada, and what the way that they even present themselves changes through their clothing, and making sure that that made sense with all of the movement, especially for the showgirls, because they have high kicks and taps and all sorts of things that they're doing, making sure that the costumes make sense for their movement and contribute to telling that story. And they have a lot of costumes, the girls do. They have a lot of costumes, and they're all adorable.
Racks and racks.
Yes.
Yep.
It's going to be a sight for the eyes.
Yes.
Well, thank you both for coming and chatting with me, and I look so forward to the show. I'll be there on opening night.
Wonderful.
I'll be doing box office, so we've got a bunch of people coming, so it's great. So we'll be right back and talk to some of the cast from this show.
Who let the dogs out? Their owners. The City of Laurel's Parks and Recreation Department invited residents and their four-legged friends to their 20th Doggy Dip Day at the Greenview Drive Pool. Mayor Keith R. Sidnor wasn't going to let the day pass without joining in on the fun with some of Laurel's finest.
These dogs that probably never met each other, never seen each other, they're just running around like a bunch of little kids on a playground, all in the pool, as you can see, and the small pool. It's a great day. I'm glad that the city is able to do this.
For this story and more like it, check out youtube.com/LaurelTVOfficial.
Hello, welcome back to Curtain Call. I'm Maureen Rogers from Laurel Mill Playhouse, and I have some of the cast members of our upcoming musical, Crazy for You. I'm so delighted to have you all here. So why don't you introduce yourselves and tell me what part you're playing in this show?
Sure, I'll go first. Hi, my name is Natalia Barber, and I play Patsy, a ditzy showgirl.
Whoa!
And my name is Ryan New. I play Moose, one of the silly little cowboys.
So you both are dancers, right? Mm-hmm. And you both sing. Yep. That's great. What do you like so much about the show, being in it?
I would say it's definitely like a challenge. Like, it's so fun having a show that's so like challenging dance-wise and singing-wise, and sometimes both together, that it creates like such a fun energy just being on stage.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
I agree wholeheartedly. And with me, I am putting myself very far out of my comfort zone because I don't dance in my free time. I'm a singer and I'm an actor, but I'm not a dancer. And so this show has really forced me to learn a lot of things about myself that I wouldn't have learned otherwise.
Oh, that's great. So do you like it? Would you do it again?
Would I like do this show again?
I mean, do dancing again?
I think that under the right direction, yes.
Yeah.
I've loved working with Summer as the choreographer. She's fantastic. I've worked with her in a prior show, and she's a big reason why I came back.
She seems to be like the nicest person to work with ever, and the fact that she wants to make it fun for everybody is really impressive.
Absolutely.
So you were a singer and a dancer.
Yay!
So what kind of dancing shows have you done before?
Oh, so previously, I'm a little new to the local theater scene, but previously I was in Urinetown also with Ryan.
Okay.
And that was at Second Star in Bowie. And I also was in a show right before that called Something Rotten as Shakespeare. I played a man. It was so fun. And that one had it was a bit more like modern dancing, like what you typically see in musical theater now. So this one's really fun because now I'm tap dancing and doing like ballet inspired moves. So It's,
Oh, what fun.
Yeah, it's very much stretching my branches.
So did you do dancing earlier in your life? Or take
No.
lessons or anything? Just something you have picked up to do?
Yeah, it's something that I mainly learned while doing musical theater and just like seeing the talented people around me and being like, let me copy and mimic that.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Which probably what you have done.
Absolutely. It's very much watch and do.
Yeah. So what other shows have you done besides you're in town, right?
So, yeah, so I was in Urinetown with Second Star prior. Before that, most of my theater experience has been with St. Matthew's Theater Troupe in Bowie, which is a smaller church next to Bowie High School. I've done Miracle on 34th Street. I was in Camelot. I was in a show called Baby. And with them, I was also in Beauty and the Beast, which was my first show.
Oh, that's great. So have you worked with Mallory Zeeks?
I have, actually. My most recent 3 shows with that group, which was Camelot, Baby, and Miracle on 34th Street. Mallory was my stage opposite.
Yeah. Oh,
She's
that's
fantastic
great.
to work with.
She's done a lot of shows at Laurel Mill Playhouse because
Yes,
we
she
all
has.
trade off. We're all one big family. So what would you like to do next time as a show? Do you have hopes and dreams for a certain part?
That's a good question. I'm not really sure. I definitely want to keep my eye on the radar. I do know there's a production coming up, I think with Silhouette Stages, that I was interested in, Susical, that I was debating going for. And then I think Second Star also has some more shows on their radar that I might look into, but it's still undecided.
So do you do plays or do you always musicals?
Always musicals.
Always musicals. Well, that's cool. Oh my gosh, I wish I could sing.
No.
Back when I did, but not like you all can sing.
Oh, please.
How about you? What would you like to do?
Well, the next show that I'm auditioning for is actually at Woods Memorial Church in Severna Park. I'm auditioning for Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
That's going to be really fun. I've never done a show of that caliber, and they're a huge space that always does great shows. I went and saw Jesus Christ Superstar there, and they were phenomenal. So I'm hoping to get into that show.
Oh,
But
that's
besides that, I don't
wonderful.
really have any big prospects on the horizon.
Yeah.
Just whatever comes out. you know?
Great, that's wonderful. We did Jekyll and Hyde at Laurel Mill Playhouse.
Really?
It was so good, so good. So I know yours will be just as good, and I wish you both luck.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you.
And I look forward to seeing you on stage Friday because I'll be there opening night.
yeah.
Thank you.
So again, the show starts October the 11th and goes to October the 27th. And get your tickets at laurelmillplayhouse.org, but get them now because this is going to be sold out. I see the ticket numbers just rising and rising, so you really want to do that. We do have a Thursday show, as we mentioned before, on the 17th, right?
Correct, yep.
Of October. So do that. And Laurel Mill Playhouse is very, very intimate. So any show, any seat is like front row. And you get to see things that you'd never see in a big, gigantic theater.
Absolutely.
So come and see this. You'll enjoy it. Thank you again so much for coming.
Thank you for
Looking
having
forward
us.
to seeing you. Yay! Stay tuned. Next time, we'll be back here with A Murder is Announced cast and crew. We look forward to seeing you.